Hey, thanks for tuning in to Marketing with Moody. Today we have Trey Eller from QRC. Hey, Trey, thanks for joining us today.
Not a problem, man. Pleasure to be here. How are you?
Man, doing great. So tell the viewers who don't know what QRC is. What is QRC?
So what QRC is, it's a family-owned and operated business. It started about 25 years ago, back in 1999, by my mom and dad. So primarily started out as a small little refrigeration outfit doing basically CVSs. So mom and dad started doing CVSs back in 99. They installed coolers basically throughout the whole United States. So they had one account that they got, and basically that one account grew to more accounts, and just over the last 10 years we started doing commercial heating and air conditioning, and then over the last year and a half we started a residential heating and air conditioning company. So
wow, so you guys really pretty much do it all when it comes to the heating and air business.
If it gets cold, we work on it.
Yeah.
Especially heating too. Heating season's right around the corner, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your busy season's coming up, huh?
That is for sure, brother. For sure.
And you said it's a family-owned business started from your mom and dad.
Yep, and we're actually woman-owned. A lot of people don't know that. My mom is the owner of QRC.
Really? I had no idea.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Pretty wild.
What does it mean for you to work for a company started from your parents?
Oh, man. It's pretty much all I've ever known, to be honest with you. I mean, I haven't really done anything else. I worked on a horse farm for one summer. That wasn't my cup of tea. So.
Sure. And then you were like, got to go in the family business.
100%. That's it.
Yeah.
So I started when I was like probably 8 years old, helping my dad carrying tools around grocery stores and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then just every summer since high school, graduated high school, it's all I've ever done.
It's really interesting you say that, and it's really interesting you said that you started about 8 years old carrying tools around with your dad. The gentleman we had on our podcast last week, he has a son, and his son goes on job sites with him, and his son is 9 years old. So, and I mentioned to him, I was like, I bet your son's going to remember that for the rest of his life. And I could probably guess you remember going with your dad.
100%, dude.
At 8 years old.
That was, you've ever heard the saying, holding the flashlight for your dad?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, holding the flashlight for your dad at a young age, dude. You got to point it in the right direction for sure.
Absolutely. And I'm sure there's definitely struggles that go with that, and some learning curves, but also a lot of pride, especially your official title in QRC, I believe is
Vice President.
Vice President, right?
Yep.
That, I'm sure, holds a lot of weight, but also a lot of, I'm sure it carries a lot of, stress, but I'm sure it also carries a lot of pride.
It definitely does. I mean, one thing that's different, like you hear all these horror stories about owner sons, becoming this entitled guy, who never really did anything. I mean, I literally had it harder than pretty much any other employee at QRC.
Because the expectations.
100%. I started off, I was carrying tools. I was an install helper, worked my way up to an install lead, to a service technician, to a project manager, to lead estimator, to now vice president of the company. So I've done a lot with the company, and I'm not one of these guys who say that they know everything, right? I surround myself with people that are a whole lot smarter than me, because, that's the only way you can grow.
Yeah. When you came out of high school, I'm assuming that's when it got real for you.
For sure.
Is that correct?
It definitely did.
Okay.
You have a choice, after high school, you go to college. A lot of my friends went to college, and, a couple of my buddies started businesses. But really, right after high school, you have a decision to make. You either go to a 4-year college, you sit on your parents' couch, or you get a job, right? So and I'd already been working, so it wasn't anything new. Just continue the workforce and work my way up. I always had a plan to try to take over this business eventually, but reality sets in whenever you don't really have a plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm sure that over the last 2 weeks, we've had 2 entrepreneurs come on this podcast that started their business, and they started it from the ground up. But with that, it's a little simpler in a way that you can look at a small business like a small boat, whereas a big business is a cruise ship. Well, looking into to QRC, you guys have a cruise ship, and it's a little harder to pivot when you have such a large, enterprise.
For sure.
So you coming out of high school, getting into that role, even though you've done it before, I'm sure there was a lot of, oh crap, because you were thrown into this corporate world where your expectations are super high, and it's like you don't have time to learn. Like you gotta know it now.
100%. There's some truth to that, but I think of it as, we're definitely not where we want to be yet.
Sure, a lot of growth potential.
But coming from high school into like a project management role, I don't mind sharing a little bit of like history, right? So
sure.
Basically, after high school, project management, did that for a while. Then the last probably 2.5, 3 years, I was put in the sales and marketing role for QRC. So took over sales and marketing role. We were right at about $2 million. Grew that up to about, this year we should be wrapping up around $13-14 million. So with that, there was a lot of learning that I had to do with that for sure. But what I'm saying is you have to, there's a lot of structure, there's a lot of processes, procedures, there's so many things whenever you're scaling a business that size. I mean, it's not like you just like flip the switch on and it just starts to grow.
Yeah.
You have to have core processes followed by every person within the organization to truly scale a business, right? So I want everybody from the people answering the phones to the technicians going to the job sites to literally everybody within our organization following the same processes every single time. And we're finally at a point where this year we've got majority of that worked out. It's a learning process, right? Because you're always going to have little things you have to tweak here and there, processes and procedures that are always going to change, right? Just like any business. But just to scale, you have to have that foundation to build upon, right?
Mm-hmm. So with that, 2 points come to mind that I think is super interesting. Number one, you said you stepped into the sales and marketing role.
Yep.
As basically it's tip of the spear at $2 million.
Correct.
And now you guys are wrapping up probably at 13-14 million.
Correct.
Wow. Right. First off, that's massive that
For sure.
You've been able to take what your dad has done and to take it to where it's now at.
Sure. I want to be clear. It's not me. It's the team, right?
The team, of course. But you had a strong part in the team. Sure. And I say that, is that now that's correct. I'm assuming. Like
correct.
100%. You've had a big piece of it. Now your team, obviously, I've known you before, and you've always talked very highly of your team.
For sure.
How did you guys go about finding the team that you guys? So you guys have a great team.
For sure, dude. But one thing that people miss a lot, right? They always want to try to save on the front end. Okay. Right? Mm-hmm. They don't want to pay the price to find a premium candidate, right?
Sure.
So we kind of shifted that mindset, and we really started attracting the right people, right? It's going to cost you a little bit more up front, but in the long run, they're able to make up that value.
Absolutely.
100%. Just like an agency, just like your agency, right? If you tell me, hey, Trey, look, I cost $100,000, but in return, I'm going to bring you $500,000, $1 million worth of work.
Yeah.
$100,000 sounds like a lot up front, right? But it's the same thing when you're looking at employees.
Sure. Absolutely. And the second point that I wanted to make was you talked about core values and how your team is on the same page when it comes to core values.
100%.
How important is the core values at QRC, but also, too, what are the core values?
Yeah, so core values are at the center of every single thing that we do. We have 3 core values. Do the right thing, do what you say, learn, grow, or leave. Basically, what that means is if you say something, you're going to do it.
Okay.
100% of the time. That's instilled in every employee that we have. If it's, hey, I'm going to shoot you an email by 3 o'clock, the email has to be in by 3 o'clock. That's at the center of what we do, right? Do the right thing. So, quick story about doing the right thing. This is how engraved it is in our people. So, we had a situation the other day. General contractor has a job site. Well, I had some guys working on that job site. They put trash in the dumpster. The trash was loose plastic. Well, the wind picks up. It blows the trash everywhere. Okay? Our guys, our team, went back, picks all the trash up, puts it back in the dumpster.
Oh, that's awesome.
And puts a pallet on top of it so it don't blow out again. The guys didn't know anybody was there. They thought everybody had left for the day.
Yeah.
They didn't know the general contractor, the superintendent, sitting in the job trailer.
Oh,
right?
wow.
So the general contractor actually shot myself and my dad a text and said, hey, just want you to know, like, there's not a lot of companies that would do this. I want
That's
you
awesome.
on every single job site we do. So that's do the right thing, even when
awesome.
no one's looking, right?
Yeah.
And then the last part is learn, grow, or leave. To be a part of our team, we have to have our people learning, growing, or it's simply just not the right fit for them, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
The only way to get better as a team is to build, right? So growing is a core part of every single thing that we do.
Yeah, and I bet those team members that picked up all the trash and put the pallet on top of it, I bet you they would not have even said anything when they got back to the office.
No.
They would have
No
not
way.
been looking for any kind of
Thank
you or anything.
They didn't have any idea.
It was just simple doing the right thing because of the fact that you guys spread the core values on such a heavy level.
100%.
Which I feel like is so absent these days when it comes to different companies. I feel like a lot of companies, they just want their people to focus on one thing, and that's profit, that's money, that's revenue.
100%. I had this thought the other day, and literally it's like people over profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like your people, in my business, for example, it's made up of two things, right? Customers and employees. Without employees, you can't get customers. And without customers, you can't keep employees.
That's right.
So literally, we're all in a people business. We're in a service-based business. That's all it is.
100%. What is something that you guys have done when y'all, started going into the commercial, and what is something you have done going into the residential as far as identifying who your actual market is, like who you got to go after? Yeah,
so for commercial, it's a little different, right?
Of course.
So we have a base of refrigeration customers that we've had for the last 25 years.
Okay.
So all those people know us as a commercial refrigeration contractor. So it's pretty easy to make the transition saying, hey, now we're offering heating and air conditioning services, right? One thing that differentiates us in the commercial marketplace is that we do commercial refrigeration. Okay. So we do a lot of banks, we do a lot of restaurants and stuff like that. In the restaurants, it's a whole lot easier for someone to deal with one contractor doing the heating and air conditioning and the refrigeration versus trying to source two different people, trying to coordinate the trades, all that sort of stuff. So it gets kind of fishy there.
Sure.
Now, on the residential side, defining our market, so right now we're just doing basically a 35-mile radius of Winston-Salem.
Okay.
Market is I'm not going to say it's easy to pick up because it's a dog-eat-dog world,
Sure.
for sure. But one thing that differentiates us on the residential side of the business is, well, actually on the commercial side too, to an extent, is I would say probably 75-85% of our competitors have sold out to private equity. So you think of Webb Heating and Air, right? Dude, they've been in business for, 90 years or something, right? They're sold out. It's not Webb Heating and Air. You think of Logan Heating and Air Conditioning. Mr. Logan, he doesn't work there anymore. So it's a weird space that we're in when you have all of these large corporations and these just massive private equity people coming in and buying up these companies. And what they're doing is they're taking advantage of people, to be completely honest with you. They are taking advantage of people. They're telling people that have 5-year-old systems that are under warranty that they need to replace their system because the parts aren't available. In our industry, dude, there is a lot of shady stuff going on. Honestly.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
That's insane. And all because those, PE companies want to make an extra buck.
It's profit over people.
Profit over people. But at QRC, it's people over profit.
100%.
And you know what? I think that speaks to the level of growth you guys have had recently.
For sure.
What was it, 2 weeks ago? Earlier podcast, we had a gentleman in here, and he did car wraps and truck wraps and window graphics and stuff like that. We were talking about how important it is to have your brand wrapped around your vehicle if you're in the industry that that benefits, right?
For sure.
And we talked about QRC, how we see you guys everywhere, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, man, I see it everywhere." Everywhere I go, I see either signage, I see trucks, I see something. Your trucks are everywhere. I don't know what it is. I think it's because now that I've seen so many of them, I notice it when I do see it, and it's like every corner I turn. For one, our office at Micro Marketing is down on Patterson Avenue.
Yep.
There is an apartment building right beside our office. QRC is there all the time. They're
100%.
always parked out there, and just when I'm driving, QRC trucks everywhere I go, and it's weird because I see it everywhere on Winston, but I also see it everywhere in Clemens, and other surrounding cities.
Yeah,
and it's pretty awesome to see kind of the level of growth you guys have had over the last. Especially the last few years. I feel like the last few years I've had an insane amount of growth.
We have. We actually just got the first year in Fast 50 nominations. We got, I think, spot 30 or 29. So we're in top 30 first year.
Wow.
So that was a blessing, man. It was
no doubt.
Cool. Really cool. And we got Family Business Awards as well.
And I know that's got to feel good being a family business.
Oh, dude, 100%.
I mean, when you're around the Thanksgiving table, and you're with family and you're with your loved ones, it's awesome because your brother works for the company as well.
For sure.
Your mom, your dad. I mean, everyone at the table is really just benefiting from the hard work that your mom and dad put in the earlier years, as well as the hard work that you and the family are putting in nowadays.
For sure. Yeah, but one thing too, I mean, you think of family business like, yes, the core family, right? But we think of family business as everybody that works is a part of our family. Oh,
that's awesome.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, we have community outreach. We do big parties together. We take everybody to Carowinds. We are a big family. Whenever we bring someone on at QRC, I mean, they become family.
Yeah. So for the listeners out there, I have a brief story that really touches me to the core. My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer a year and a half ago. And so it's near and dear to me. When I heard about y'all's story that y'all did for one of your staff members,
yep.
I read about it. I forgot where I read about it, but I read about it somewhere and actually saw a picture of it. I think I read about it on social media. But you guys had a staff member that was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Yeah, so actually it was one of our staff members. It was direct family, right? So what we did was we came up with the QRC Cares campaign, which was a collaborative effort with our leadership team, which was really awesome, right? So what we did was we made a truck. We took our regular logo. We took it completely pink. Everything's pink about the truck.
Oh, so that's cool. Now I saw the picture, and it's awesome.
We got a pink truck driving around, so anytime anybody takes a picture of the truck, post it on social media, hashtag QRC Cares, we donate $1 to breast cancer victims. And we're actually, funny that you say that, because we are actually looking for a new person to sponsor in that journey.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's there's a lot there. I feel like, especially with people that have, been fighting that battle, because it is a hard battle to fight, and not 100%. only for the victims but also their families.
Yep.
I've seen it firsthand how hard it is. I mean, of course, it's the hardest for the people affected by it, but it's definitely hard for their families as well. And
definitely
for you guys to go above and beyond to do a CARES campaign is just. It separates you guys from those other PE companies, those private equity owned companies.
100%.
With that said, going back to the marketing side of things, you guys obviously have employees.
Mm-hmm.
To keep the employees, you have to have customers.
100%.
How you guys obviously have, with the amount of growth you guys have, and I've seen your website how there's a picture of the entire team. You guys have. I mean, how many people do you have now?
You have like right at 60 employees.
That's a lot of people to make sure are taken care of
100%
at the end of pay period, right?
100%.
So for that, you have to have quite a bit of customers.
100%.
How are you guys going out and finding those customers?
Yeah, so for our commercial business, it's all about relationships. That's how a commercial business thrives. Is there some marketing? I'm not gonna tell you there's not any marketing, because there is, right? You
Sure.
got pay-per-click, Google ads, you got, Facebook stuff, but really on the commercial side, it's all about relationships, B2B. Now on the residential side, dude, that's a completely different game.
Yeah.
That is a dog eat dog, who can bid the highest, who can get the most Google reviews. I mean, it is a lot that goes into that. I mean, you know how
All
it
about
is.
it, yeah.
100%. Dude, it's wild.
tough.
It's definitely wild.
So you guys are doing the full works though. You guys are
100%.
doing social media marketing. You guys are doing, ads on Google. You guys are running email campaigns.
Yep.
You guys are really just working out the entire works package.
Our marketing wheel is wild.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, we're doing everything from local outreach to billboard ads, TV. We're doing sponsorships at, Bowman Gray. We had a sponsorship at Bowman Gray. I mean, we're doing it all.
What percent of, the revenue are y'all, around about percentage-wise, what are y'all dedicating to marketing?
Yeah, so, average, you're looking for aggressive growth about 10%, right?
Okay.
For the revenue. That's usually what.
And that's aggressive.
Yeah, 100%.
That's aggressive.
Yes, it is.
The average company y'all size is anywhere between 5 and 7%. That's
for sure.
That's super aggressive, and I think
100%.
that goes to the core values.
Yep.
You guys, like you said, you do what y'all say, and y'all learn or get out. And there was the other one, that one I'm missing.
Do what you say, do the right thing, learn, grow, or leave.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think those values, can be put in and really fit it to any company.
100%.
I think if any company does that,
yep,
they're doing the right thing. They're on the way to success.
100%.
The do what you say one is super interesting, and I actually said this in an earlier podcast. There was a guy who said, if you want to change your life completely, for 30 days, for 30 simple days, write down 10 things you need to do. 10 things that if you do these 10 things, you're going to be in a better position. 10 things that are going to put you in a better position. Now for 30 days, do those 10 things.
Yep.
If it's wake up early. Don't make excuses. Wake
100%.
up early. If it's go to the gym. If it's to make 100 cold calls a day, make 100 cold calls a day.
It.
Just do what you say you're going to do for 30 days.
100%.
Because I feel like so often nowadays that's wishful thinking. Doing what you say.
100%. It kind of ties in. I mean, just like we have weekly meetings, right?
Yeah.
We have a scorecard we look at. The way that we run our company, we do 90-day priority items, right? So we live in a 90-day world.
Okay.
Each person in our company has a number. They know if they won the day or they lost the day. They know if they won the week or if they lost the week.
That's interesting.
So literally we have these meetings. We have L10 meetings once a week. And it's broken down within our whole company. We have leadership. We have middle management. We have field guys. We have all of these teams, right? And what we do is we look at a scorecard. And we say, okay, Austin, your goal was to hit 50 cold calls this week. Are you on track or off track? Okay? Then what happens is you say off track, we drop it to an issues list. We discuss why is it off track. Because ultimately, we want to know what is at the root cause of that. Is it you got tied up doing, Jim's work, or, somebody didn't do their part, so you had to, you know what I mean? So we try to prioritize things to where it's like, it's your core focus.
That is super interesting.
100%.
You drop it to an issues list. Are there different ranks there?
So it just depends, to be honest. We do people first, people over profit, right?
Yeah.
So you literally want to do all your people, and then we go through and discuss all the items that are off on the scorecard.
Got it. To figure out why.
100%.
Yeah, and I'm sure part of that's just simply asking, like, all right, what's going on? Like, are you okay?
Yeah, and it's not really a yell at people or anything like that. It's more of like, okay, like, I understand you didn't hit this number. Why did you not hit the number? Mm-hmm. And then really just
is everything okay?
Yeah, I mean, and it's a collaborative. Like, we literally have in any of these meetings, there could be 5 to 7 people, right? So it's not me having a conversation with you. It's the group discussing, like, okay, Austin, why did you not get this done?
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like the boss is coming down on you or whatever.
Yeah, sure. There's a lot more.
And dude, there's pride that goes with that. I mean, you talk about accountability. Like whenever you're in a group of people and you're the only person that's off track, it's like you kind of feel a little different about it.
Yeah, for sure. It's like you feel like you let the team down.
100%.
And also there's a little bit of competitiveness there because like
definitely is.
You don't want to be that guy that
100%.
is the only person there that did not score well on their card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's super interesting. A lot of people have those meetings, but a lot of people don't keep score like that.
100%.
How long have y'all been doing that?
We've been doing that the last 4 years.
Okay. So kind of goes hand in hand with the years that you guys have hit the acceleration on growth.
100%.
The exponential growth.
And I mean, I don't mind sharing. I mean, we're on EOS. Are you familiar with EOS? Entrepreneur Operating System?
No.
EOS changed our business.
EOS, okay. And what is EOS?
It's Entrepreneur Operating System, but basically it's there's a book by Gino Wickman.
Is it a software or is it a?
It's just a way that you run your business.
It's a way you run your buess. Entrepreneur Operating System.
It's gold. Check it out.
I'm gonna check that out. Is that gold. That was about you read? I say it's a book.
So you read the book and then you can start. You can either self-implement or you can hire an implementer. But check it out, dude.
That's pretty cool.
It's wild.
And that you read that back before
Yep.
all this happened.
Yeah, my dad actually read the book. He self-implemented and it changed the entire way we did business. It's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of your dad, I've met your dad a handful of times, and
I'm sorry.
Your dad, man, he's business. He's business.
That dude's into everything.
The couple of times, so I've met him a couple of times in business, and I've met him. It's interesting. I met him twice when there wasn't it had nothing to do with business or QRC. The couple of times that I met him when it did have something to do with QRC or business, he is all business. He knows his stuff.
Oh yeah.
He is super smart, right?
Yeah, that dude, it ain't no telling what he has going on at any time.
Yeah. But the couple of times I met him that it wasn't about business. Man, he's the coolest guy to talk to.
He is a cool dude.
There's
a difference between work dad and home dad.
So much.
Dude, 100%.
Yeah.
Work dad,
I mean, he gets it done.
Oh, dude.
He gets it done.
He gets it done, but it's like, But then, dad is dad. It's cool,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I think the work dad, I think he just knows what he expects.
He knows what he expects, and then it's the point of like, I guess he just wants me to be the best that I can be, honestly.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, he knows what he expects, but also too, like, he knows that he's putting all of his effort into it. He's putting 180% into it.
100%.
So you better be giving 180% too.
And if you're doing 179, it ain't good enough.
No, he's gonna make sure you know it. Hey,
100%.
You gotta get it right.
But dude, that's what makes that's what makes a team good.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? The coach has to want it more than the players.
Absolutely. You know what too? Though, like, your dad knows that a lot of people depend on him.
100%.
I know you said your mom was the owner, but I think a lot of responsibility is put on your dad.
100%.
And your dad understands, like, if things don't work out, people are going to blame him.
1,000,000%.
But at the same time, every time things go right, he doesn't get the credit.
Yep.
The team gets the credit.
100%.
Which is right. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. The team gets the credit.
Yep.
But if things go wrong, they're gonna be looking towards him.
100%.
And I think that's why he's wicked smart, and he knows what he wants.
100%, he does, and he has a way to get what he wants, and it'll always work.
Yeah,
it'll always work.
Hey, that's good business, though.
It is.
That's good business.
It is.
What are some cool things that we can expect from QRC? Like, what are some things that QRC has in the works?
Dude, so check us out, Carolina Thunderbirds.
Oh, yeah?
Sponsorship there, yeah.
Okay, some sponsorships.
Yeah, dude, check us out. We're on the ice at the Carolina Thunderbirds.
You're on the ice?
On the ice.
Oh, that is cool.
We got our logo on the ice, and then a lot of people don't know this. And this,
we'll get in the first take.
Yeah, you're getting the first take.
I love it. Let's see it.
We are sponsoring Mike Speeney. He is the number 10 driver over at Bowman Gray Modifieds.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he's got a fast car. You'll see us on his trailer, his car. It'd be a good time, man. It'd be really cool. Really
yeah.
cool.
When does that season start?
Man, I think April, if I'm not mistaken.
April? Okay.
I think so, but I don't know. To be honest with you.
That's
Yeah.
I think that's super interesting that you got. What made y'all choose those two sponsorships?
So Thunderbirds, I mean, dude, have you ever been to the Thunderbirds game?
I've been to a few of them.
Oh, dude, it's wild.
It's awesome.
It's a good time, dude. There's a lot of people.
It's
the
such a good
fans are
time.
loyal, you know what I mean? And it's a really good time. And then the whole Mike Speeney thing, man, he's actually really good buddies with one of my good friends. So just made a mutual connection. We ended up, crazy enough, we did the sponsorship deal, and he ended up having two heating and air conditioning projects. So we're actually doing the heating and air conditioning on his family's business. They have 2 projects going on right now, so it just worked out, dude. It was really cool.
So you guys are doing sponsorships. You guys are doing social media marketing, Google Ads, different ways of email marketing and other things. What is y'all's philosophy when it comes to marketing? What's your end goal?
To take market share. I mean, honestly, that's
Absolutely.
what any company's goal is, But our thing is, I want to own a market, right? So I want to be, you come to North Carolina and you have a commercial property, you see us everywhere. You come to Winston-Salem, you see us everywhere for residential and commercial,
Which
right?
you do right now. You see it everywhere. Yeah.
Could it be better? Yes. We're not there, but we're heading in that direction. So
you could always notice a good leader when you tell them that, oh yeah, you're there, and they're like, oh no, it could be better.
100%, dude.
Yeah,
it's never good enough.
That's kind of like Kobe when he said, job's not finished.
Yep.
Job finished. Job's not finished.
That's it.
Yep. So yeah, I mean that's super interesting. You guys are getting that market share. In marketing at Mach 1 Marketing, we believe, sales is to convincing, whereas marketing is to educating.
100%.
You guys, I've seen y'all's, content. For one, it's super creative. I think the TikToks are the coolest thing on earth.
I love the TikToks.
The TikToks are amazing.
Yes. Shout out to my boy Neil. That dude is a genius.
Yeah,
He's
awesome.
a genius. Yes.
I mean, the content is insane,
Yes.
right? It's beautiful. But 2, when you do your ads, it's not gimmicky. It's not give me.
Yep.
It's not like I want to tell you why you should hire QRC.
What?
It's educating the viewer on QRC and what value you bring.
100%.
You're telling them what you bring to the table and what problem you're going to solve for them.
100%.
Which is so valuable. So
Yes.
I think for anyone who hasn't seen their content, whoever's listening to this, you got to check it out.
Yeah, check out, what is it, QRC.HVAC on TikTok.
Yeah, it's the coolest TikToks you've ever seen.
Pretty funny.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what it's called. The
Run Furnace Run.
Run Furnace Run.
Dude, that one's good.
That one is awesome.
That one's good.
I think that was definitely my favorite.
Or The Office Space.
The Office Space is awesome.
Yeah.
Or the one where y'all are the tough guys, with the
with the bats and
the
stuff.
bats.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
That one's pretty good.
That's cool. Where y'all are beating up the old furnace.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lord.
What inspires those? What inspires
Man,
that content?
Having fun, dude. I'm not taking credit for it. It's collaborative, right?
Sure.
But we had some help on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So. I mean, you guys, if you guys had fun with it,
Yep.
but more importantly, you had fun with it, and I mean, if you look how many views you guys got with it,
it's a lot of views.
Yeah, and that's marketing. That's advertising.
100%.
That is putting it out there.
Yep.
In the best way. It's original. It's non. You're not using someone else's content. It's you guys. You guys are doing it. And I love that it's a family thing.
100%. It's more of a. I would say it's more of like branding, right? So it's
branding. Absolutely. You're putting your label on. You're putting your stamp on it. And anyone who knows your family, I mean,
100%.
You guys got your family out there filming these videos,
yeah.
And you guys got. It's funny because when you see the characters,
yep.
It kind of fits y'all individually as well.
Yeah.
Especially the Run Furnace Run.
That's funny.
your brother Chase is getting hit with the head with a,
Exactly.
a rock with that metal thing on his head.
Yep.
It's just awesome.
It is.
When are we gonna see more of those?
Coming soon, buddy. Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Yeah, we
Coming
need more of
soon.
those.
Yeah, we got some skits kind of drawn out. Just haven't had the time to film it. It's a little bit too cold right now to be playing outside. But actually, not too cold to be playing outside. You know all about that.
Yeah, that's right.
Going duck hunting.
Hey, man,
Let's go, baby.
let's go. Yeah. So I mean, it's super interesting to hear kind of y'all's philosophy on the marketing side of things and how y'all put people over profit. And how y'all make such a big piece of your business's core values. What is to come? I know I've kind of already asked what's come from the marketing side of things, but I mean, what's the goal for QRC?
The goal for next year, stay tuned.
Stay tuned?
Stay tuned. But
okay,
honestly, my individual goal for next year is to double the size of the business. That's my individual goal.
Okay.
Now, can that be done? 100%, right? Our budget can support it. That's my goal, is to double revenue 2025. Into 2025, I'd like to double our revenue. And
you guys have already mapped out what that looks like as far as...
We have.
Because you guys break everything into 90 days, correct?
We do.
Now, is that broken up yet into the 90-day plan?
So we actually have our leadership team meeting on this Friday to go through the budget and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
well, you know, by the time this airs, it'll be it'll be the new year. So, we hope to have you back
100%, man.
Sometime, you know, after a few months and kind of seeing. We want to see if you guys are on track.
100%.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and you know, keep us updated too on, you know, those skits, because
For sure.
Again, I don't know, whoever hasn't seen them, you got to see them. And by the time this airs, I'm sure.
There'll be some more out, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Maybe we'll put old Mach 1's team in some.
Let's go. We're ready. Mach 1 Marketing is it's itching for some good skits with QRC. I think that would be a good collaboration.
It would be a great collaboration.
That would be a great collaboration. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Trey, for joining us. How can someone get a hold of you if they want to get a hold of Trey Eller?
Yeah, it's just you can fill out a form on my website. It's QRC123.com.
Which is the coolest domain ever, by the way.
100%. You know, my buddy Austin Moody actually, I think, helped me get that domain. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
if you need anything, you need anything marketing wise, hit my boy up here.
But, yeah. Well, thank you for that. That bit.
For sure.
Yeah, so they can fill out a form on QRC123.com. Yep. Okay.
That'll go directly to me.
All right, cool. Well, thanks again. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast today, and really hope to have you on the podcast later on.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Everyone, thank you for joining us with Trey and I here on Marketing with Moody. We hope to see you next week.